Hello folks, I am back yet again for another review, and today we're taking a look at this. This should be 4 MTH HO diesel locomotives. These should be my other F3 locomotives, and I say should be, I've already taken a look at them. But regardless though, let's get these out of the box. Alright, so these are all MTH HO locomotives like I just said. This is a B unit. This is numbered 5523. This is a B unit. This is also numbered 5523. This A unit is the sound version, numbered 5521. And this is the A unit dummy, numbered 5524. So let's open the dummy A unit first. Now, interestingly enough, on the package, it says DNRTW F3B sound, when there is no sound in this one, so I'm not sure why they did that. But they did. This is just a DCC ready manual. I'm not going to take a look at that because there's no point, as I already did in my last review. Alright, so here's the dummy A unit. Yeah, as you can tell, it's an A unit. There's nothing special about it. It's just dummy. Interestingly enough, though, there are gears inside, like a full gear tower. So I'm not sure why MTH left all that there. Interestingly enough, too, all of the bulbs, lighting stuff is all inside. I already opened this unit up to see what it looked like on the inside, and you can actually connect the track power wires using the MTH plugs, and they will all work. Like, literally all the lights will turn on, so interesting. So yeah, that's the A unit. Right, so here for the B unit now. Interestingly enough, I just want to point this out. I'm pretty sure that these are the wrong boxes, because as you can see, it says, where does it say? Operating LED headlights. These have no headlights. And then prototypical horn sound, ringing bell. Doesn't have any of that. Doesn't have any of that too. And yeah, and then, of course, no lighting. So, I'm pretty sure that these are just the wrong boxes. And I'm not sure why this is here, because this should be for the dummy A unit. But yeah, here it is. These weigh about 1 pound, 2 ounces, I think it was. So they're quite hefty when it comes to weight. They look really good. They're actually in better condition, dare I say. It's in better condition than the eBay seller said it was. So yeah. Where is all this paint coming from? Like, where the heck is it coming from? It's not from the models. Regardless, so yeah. There it is. Like I said in my previous reviews, yes, I know MTH didn't put the MU hoses on, but I already have parts that I can put on to add the MU hoses. So I will do that later. And yeah, there's the first B unit. This is damage that was done by me, unfortunately. I just hit it wrong. Originally, though, I think there was this B unit. It didn't run, which was something that the seller said. One of the A units just didn't move, or I say A units, B units didn't work. I put it on the track, and it started moving completely fine. Although it had a weird thing when it got to my switch, it would just reset itself. But after I kept running it, it fixed itself. So yeah, I have a perfectly running B unit for less. Let's put this over to the side and open the other B units. Here they all are down on the, I guess, board here, or box. And yeah, I will say they look really good. I do like these MTH units. I think these are about the same, in my opinion, like in terms of niceness, I guess, as the Proto 2000 version. Of course, the Pro 2000 version has a bit different detail, which I will just cover now. So here's the Pro 2000 B unit. So as you can see, there are quite different things. Of course, these axle boxes or bearings are a lot different than on the MTH units, as you can see. And then on the Pro 2000 units, they have blacked backs and different smoke generators or smoke heat generators. As you can see, these are yellow and these look a lot different. Now again, I'm not sure if this is just an era thing and MTH has a different era, but maybe they did. And as you can see, the Pro 2001 does actually have proper, whatchamacallit, MU hoses. And this model also has different grates, or I say grates, different etched metal, and it also has different etched metal here. As you can see, it looks more like chicken wire, whereas the MTH units are more like smaller and kind of look like a thinner chicken wire, or a more tight-knit one, if that would be the correct term. But I will say, when you put them all together, you don't really notice a difference. Besides, of course, the Proto one having the green. That's really it. And then, what was else I going to say? Oh, yeah, right. The Pro 2000 unit also has this little handrail right there, whilst that is nowhere on the MTH units, which is interesting, I will say. I'm not sure if that, again, is an era thing or MTH being MTH. Just left that out because they wanted to. But alright, I think that's about it. Of course, there's probably a little bit more here. But yeah, without any further ado, let's go over to the coupler height test. I have a feeling that these are probably going to be high because it looks like the original owner took out the plates that make them even, but I could be wrong there. But yeah, let's go over to the coupler height test. Alright, so here for the coupler height test, as usual, I'm using the trusty tangential hopper because, well, it's to the NRA standards. So let's just use this. This is the A unit, the powered one. So let's try this first. This is not a stock coupler, by the way. But as you can see, that is actually an accurate height, which is surprising. Let's try the A end of the A locomotive. And that is low. Unfortunately, that is, right? Right? Is that low? Yeah, that is low. Unfortunately, that is low. Alright, let's move on to the first B unit. So for the first B unit here, let's see. Yeah, that's an accurate coupler height. So I guess they didn't take out the things. I'm not sure how they did that though, but they didn't. And let's see this side. This side is low, so I'm guessing that they did take out the pads for this one. Alright, let's go on to the other B unit. Alright, the other B unit now. This has a non-stock coupler. This one is high, that's for sure. Let's try the other side. I think this one will be also high. No, this one's actually perfect. Alright, great. Let's go on to the dummy A unit. Alright, so dummy A unit. It is low, unfortunately. Alright, in front of the dummy A unit, the A end. I almost just lost that car there. That was close. This side is also high. Okay, so the dummy A unit is very bad. Alright, let's go down to the track and test out the 20-second radius test. Now, this is going to be interesting because the last time I did for the other A units, the DCC Ready A and B set, I didn't actually do it with the close coupling option. So let's see if this will actually run. Alrighty, so here for the 20-second radius test. And yeah, I think you can hear them now. These locomotives, they just sound amazing. I love how MTH with the proto sound on these F3s. They're actually really nice. But yeah, as you can see, here they go. And somehow, with the diaphragms touching, they do it. Although that A unit, as you can see, well, the A units and B units are kind of buckling there, which makes sense. They're very close together. So yeah. And also doing it backwards as well. It does it exactly fine. I say backwards, just back. I love how this looks. It looks so nice. All 4 units, 2 B units and 2 A units. It looks great. And yeah, as you can see, coming back, it does perfectly fine too. No issues again. I'm wondering if it is worth decodering the A unit. I don't think it is though, like the other A unit, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe I might need a decoder for the other A unit, the powered one. But here's an up-close shot. But yeah, as you can see, it does completely fine. So yeah, no complaints at all with the 20-second radius test. Folks, so this function session is going to be quite short because I'm going to have to cut it here because for some reason most of the functions didn't work according to the online manual, and I think because there might be a different run of these and I have the older version like of the manual, so yeah, they're very mixed. Some of the functions don't do anything, some of the functions are on different keys, some of the functions just don't do anything. So yeah, like I said, it's very mixed. So yeah, bear with me here. Once the passenger freight announcement ends, that's when the video, or I should say video, this segment will end.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Now arriving from Chicago on track number 1. Train number 17, the California Zephyr. I take your baggage? Thank you, sir. Be careful on the steps. Have a nice day. Now, boarding. Let me help you. Thank you, sir. Ticketed passengers only. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Now departing for San Francisco on track number 1. Train number 17, the California Zephyr. Pardon me. Hurry up now. Thank you, sir. Be careful on the steps. Let's get that baggage on it. All aboard! Be careful on the steps. You ready to go? That'll do it. Go, be quiet now. We're ready to go. We got a clear signal. Idiot. Just giving us the eyeball signal.
Alrighty, folks, for today's running session, if it wasn't already obvious, we're going to be running the California Zephyr, specifically the DNRGW one. Also, just want to point out first, the first unit you hear start up here is the lock sound B unit. Just keep that in mind. Alright, folks, I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you in my next, see you in my next one. See you at the end of the video.
Is she ready to go? Take her low level. Low level's okay. Yep, she's in good shape. Okay, ready to pull out. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Now arriving from Chicago on track number 1. Train number 17, the California Zephyr. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Now departing for San Francisco on track number 1. Train number 17, the California Zephyr. aboard! Be careful on the step. You ready to go? That'll do it. Y'all been warmed up. We're ready to go. We got a clear signal. Idiot. You keep giving us the highball signal. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Now arriving from Chicago on track number 1. Train number 17 of the California Zephyr.
Alrighty, folks, little update here. Unfortunately, the MTH unit died. Why? I don't know. So I'm in the process of replacing the board with a lock sound board here. I took it out of my B unit because of it, it's a B unit. But now thinking about it, I probably shouldn't have ripped out all the electronics. I should have just put the board inside the BCC ready unit instead. So yeah, this is what the original board looks like. Where did I put it now? That's it here. This just doesn't work. I tested it in my other Proto Sound engines, and it didn't do anything. So yeah, unfortunately this died. But yeah, you can see truly how much electronics there really are inside of these locomotives. This is basically one of the rat's nests that's inside. Quite a lot of electronics. Alrighty, folks, I put the lock sound stuff inside. So I just had to move the headlight back a little bit. But I used some Timu lights I had sitting around for a long time. Surprisingly, they do actually work for the number boards. And yeah, they look pretty good. Headlight, of course. It's a cooler bluish color on camera. But in real life, it is a very bright white. And then I have the Mars light there. Oh, did I pull it out? Oh, no, I didn't. There we go. It is on. I didn't do the class lights, but, yeah, I don't really need them since they're gems anyways. So, I might add those down the road, but I just don't feel like doing that today. So yeah, that's the final stuff, or say final setup here. And yeah, very unfortunate that that happened to fail, but I will say these stock MTH speakers do sound really good. They are very loud too. Very nice sounding. But yeah, very unfortunate that the MTH PS3 board failed. Again, why? I don't know. It's just MTH PS3, I guess. So yeah, alrighty folks, let's move on. Alrighty folks, thank y'all so much for watching here. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. So yeah, I have to say, I think these MTH units are great. I think they sound amazing, they run amazing. Well, at least when the A unit ran with the stock soundboard, it was amazing. But I am going to be taking some points off. For those who don't know, or maybe just don't remember, or who are new to my channel, I do have a point system here out of 100, and if I find something that's bad or wrong, I deduct points, usually in installments of 5, 10s, 15s, or 20s. I'm going to be taking 10 points off each for the fact that there was no MU hoses and that the backs are yellow, which they should be black, and there should be MU hoses. So I'm going to maybe minusing 20 points off there, which brings us down to 80 points. Now, I will say, even though I am minusing quite a lot of points here, I do still think these units are worth the money. They are amazing looking locomotives. Well, I say amazing looking. They're still good for the era, or I say year they were made in. They're good for it, but I still think they're worth the price. I do. Now, maybe it's just because I have a bit of a soft spot. I have a bit of a soft spot for MTH, you could say. Because after all, my first ever DCC and sound locomotive I ever had was an MTH 412-2. Maybe that's why, but I still like them. I think they're good locomotives. They definitely run good. They're not the quietest while running because they don't have helical gears. But they're still a nice locomotive, or locomotives. So yeah, do I recommend them? Yes. Even though it has 80 points, yes I do. There are a couple things that would change, of course, being the backs being black and having MU hoses, and maybe just changing the class lights to make them white with colored LED lights instead of just green gems. That would have been better. So yeah, I think it's going to be my final point score here. It's going to be 80 out of 100. Like I said, if you're looking for some A units or F units in general, these are worth it. Because after all, I don't think the Broadway ones have close couplings like this. So yeah, definitely worth it there. Alright folks, thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on my next one. If you can, please like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel. Also, if you can, maybe also hype the video. I'm not sure if that's really an option on my channel, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Stay safe out there, folks.